During my research, I felt that researchers lack management skills, like many other people, and that was a serious dearth. So I was interested in management from that perspective. There are three essays, right? Like there are in my application there are three essays. I think they're very key points. Right. First, I was very truthful, honest. Okay. Right. Second, I never wanted to make up any story. Leadership is not only in academia. Like getting good marks is not leadership, but even leading a social campaign is leadership. That ISB will count more. So they actually try to connect the dots, and then they try to figure out whether ISB will be a valid dot in my trajectory or not. Experience with ISBmantra has been very fantastic. It was very helpful. Thanks to you, because you are one of them whom I talked with. Very practical, I would say, while writing essays, every word, every sentence should be carefully chosen, and everything should be 200% honest. I passed a course which is called Decision Making Under Uncertainty. So the first course we started. So, I never expected somebody will teach me how to take decision under uncertainty through mathematics, statistics, economics,
Saswat, congratulations again. While I have congratulated, or rather we have congratulated you before, but it is a pleasure to connect with you again, and wish to personally congratulate you for this wonderful journey you have began with ISB's PGPpro program. As discussed, this is a session which we are doing primarily for prospective applicants who would be interested in a PGPpro, an executive MBA program, and would want to understand the journey of your decision making of the program to your admission to now what you are learning from the program. Okay. So to begin with, Shashwat, so you had a total work experience of 6 years, and you also have a PhD, and you have worked in 4 companies on different roles. So please tell us about your profile and what do you think worked in your favor when you had applied for the program?
Okay. So thank you for inviting me here in this discussion. Thank you. Actually, I have a PhD in chemistry, precisely in DNA nanotechnology. I did it from Arizona State University. And then I was working as a postdoc research scientist at Columbia University. And then I came back to India and I started working in the corporate as scientific reviewer and scientific content writer. What I felt is during my research, I felt that researchers lack management skills, like many other people, and that was a serious dearth. So I was interested in management from that perspective. And also, like in 2019, I started a startup. Like I was in the US, but in India, I started a startup, very small startup, to help my friends who were educated but were unemployed. Okay. And I could see what are the faults, what are the things that we are lacking to take decisions. So I wanted to fill up those gaps. Now, COVID gave me that chance that I came for a vacation, I got stuck. And then I said, okay, why not learn? So I learned vigorously from the online platforms first. And then, I applied for ISB. And this diverse experience, like in academia, having the startup, hardcore, like cutting edge research, then, managing people in the startup, studying a lot about businesses management. So that actually adds to the cohort, diversity of the cohort. And ISB is very much interested to have a diverse cohort because that adds spice to the discussions, class discussions, case study discussions. So I think that it went to my favor, this diverse background and this inclination towards know something from the depth, from the fundamentals. Right. I think they like that. Yeah.
And Shashwat, what prompted you to think about an MBA program? And did you consider any other management program before deciding on the PGPpro?
Sure. I was looking for the normal MBA program at IIMs. Okay. and some other good schools also. But the normal programs would not fit me because then I have to leave my job and do that.
Yes.
And also I was having some work experience. So this program is very interesting. So this is a hybrid mode. So every month you go to four of the places, any four of those, and like 2 days will be on site, and other 2 days will be online. Like both are at weekends, and also there will be total three campus immersions, like for 1 week length,
Mm.
and 18 months spread around 18 months, and the material that they cover, they claim that it is even more than their 1 year regular PGP.
Mhm.
So I like their modular structure. I like the topics that they're covering. It's a very modern, very cutting edge as per the industry. So I never hesitated, and frankly speaking, I didn't apply to anywhere else because getting an MBA was not like I have to get it now. It's not like that. I just applied to ISB and it clicked.
Nice to hear that. And Shashwat, given your experience in the space of education and research, what were the key focus areas in terms of your approach to building your PGP Pro application?
Um, there are three essays, right? Like there are in my application there are three essays. I think they're very key points.
Right.
First, I was very truthful, honest.
Right.
Okay. Second, I never wanted to make up any story. I just wrote what I am.
Mm.
But definitely, I tried to think, contemplate, and dig out my strong points as a leader,
Mm.
and try to connect it with what I'm trying to achieve in the future and how ISB can fill the gap.
Mm.
It's a very simple framework. People get confused.
Mm.
And they started talking about their academic achievements, but we have to keep in mind that leadership is not only in academia. Like getting good marks is not leadership, but
Mm.
even leading a social campaign is leadership. That ISB will count more important. Okay? So I think there are many points that we miss while writing these essays.
Mhm.
So we have to look at us holistically and find out where we have acted as a leader, change maker. We have acted like we have made an adverse situation and brought it into a favorable situation. So I think ISB value those things a lot instead of just writing about your academic achievements, professional achievements. More or less, we all have that.
Right.
So that's where I focused on when writing my essays.
Great. Great. That's a very great input you have given, Shashwat. And how was after submitting the application? After how many days did you receive an invite for an interview?
I think it was like 2 3 weeks, if I'm not wrong.
Two, three
But
weeks.
after the day I got the mail, and the date of interview were very close, like 3 4 days or 5 days, and they agreed to, like, they offered an interview online. Generally, they will ask you to travel, but
Yeah.
for me it was.
Nice. Nice. And how was your experience interviewing with ISB? What were the key, focus areas or discussion points during your interview?
Uh, a major part of it is based on my essays, so they actually go through every
Right.
application very
Right.
carefully.
Yeah.
So and they try to understand the deeper connections between all my achievements, like what I have done, and they try to look for the coherence, I feel, and what I have learned from that experience and how they
Right.
contribute to my growth as a leader, as a change maker, right? So they actually try to connect the dots, and
Mm.
then they try to figure out whether ISB will be a valid dot in my trajectory or not.
Mm.
So this is one thing. Another thing is they asked me questions about various fields that I have worked in, like publishing, scientific reviewing, publication startup. So they wanted to see that whether through these experiences I went to the deeper levels of the efforts and tried
Mm.
to gain knowledge, understand them just by blindly running a business, blindly doing a review, blindly doing a job. Does not contribute to my growth. So they
Right.
wanted to know if I'm aware of the industry, how it is moving, what changes can be brought in, what innovative disruptions can be brought, what I think about its future. So they
Mm.
asked me these questions. So
Okay.
all this, these are the two most important aspects that I felt.
Right, right. And you had worked with us for your interview preparation, during which you had spoken to different consultants, okay, ISB alums, ex-admission officers. How did these discussions help you streamline your thought process, and how did your approach started changing from these different sessions?
For sure, like experience with ISBmantra has been very fantastic. It was very helpful. Thanks to you because you are one of them whom I talked with. And so there are several. The calls were meant for several reasons. Some of them took mock interviews. Some of them did a counseling. Like I will tell you what I mean by counseling. And one of them clarified what could be my future trajectory with the help of a PGPpro certification, like that knowledge and certification. So the mock interviews actually they mimicked the real interview situation. So I actually figured out where I'm fumbling, where I don't have the answers, where my answers are looking fabricated, like artificial. So they were all clear, and the feedback was very detailed and thorough. Okay, so Dr. Das was there, and Kavisha, I remember she took my
Yes,
interview,
yes.
and you were the person who clarified to me, like how can ISB help me, how to present myself, like what I'm doing, then ISB, then where I imagine myself, how can I understand this trajectory. This, I would say, it is very important to understand this trajectory. We imagine a lot of things on ourselves without experience, but I think a deeper understanding is like it's a must. And regarding counseling, I would say that uh, we all have some fear, uncertainties in ourselves because we don't understand the full scale.
Hmm.
So they were like very friendly discussions, and asking questions, general questions. Then I got reply, like why I would take this course. If they ask me what I can like say, what I know about the curriculum, they also like the counselor also added to me to my answer, and so it was like I was made at ease. That okay, ISB nothing great, like nothing unachievable. So when I went to the interview room, I felt, hey, I just talked with several of these people who are already very experienced. What else will the interviewer ask me? So
Hmm.
I'm confident. So that helps me. ISB mantra helps me.
Great to hear that the sessions were of a great value add. And now that you have started the program, tell us about your campus experience and the new learning which you are getting through the program.
So initially, I went to the Hyderabad campus for an immersion, and then I have opted for classes at Bangalore.
Hmm.
Um, so ISP is like it maintains a contact with the students every now and then, okay, and either sending reading materials, case studies, and they're all cutting edge, like very modern, very useful. So I am exposed to a lot of business cases,
Hmm.
and they themselves call it a roller coaster. This program, so it's like
Yes.
it is ending, like it is starting now, it's ending wink of an eye. We already finished 2 courses, and I'm going to finish 2 more by the end of this month. So it is unbelievable. So how to keep up with this pace and
Hmm.
do well
Hmm.
and absorb the material, because like no one should think that because ISB is doing it mostly online, offline, a weekend, that means there is a compromise. No.
Hmm.
So they make us absorb a great deal of material, huge volume, very high standard. The
Hmm.
questions are very tough, but they make us easy with it. Okay, so for example, I will tell, I passed a course which is called decision making under uncertainty. This was the first
Hmm.
course we started. So
Hmm.
I never expected somebody will teach me how to take decision and uncertainty through mathematics, statistics,
Right.
economics. So that is it. And there is a famous book, Thinking Fast and Slow. That was actually our textbook.
Right.
So you can imagine the level of like the level of, I would say, modern approach that they are absorbing. So making us fast paced, taking decisions properly, how to manage our time, like with our work, assignments. There are a lot of assignments, and every now and then there are exams. Even there are exams in between our sessions to see how we are learning. So They have really put us on a roller coaster, and it's a survival of the fittest. So
Excellent.
interacting with people. ISB also help us to do a lot of networking, interact with people. There are clubs and where they bring speakers. Because
Right.
I am not at Bangalore, I am not able to join most of them. But we do have the option. People who are at Bangalore, they are joining these sessions. Yeah, it's a great experience.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. And before we wrap this up, what is your advice to prospective PGPpro applicants, especially those coming, from a similar background and experience?
Yeah, I would definitely encourage people from academia to have some taste of business that would help them everywhere. Even if they want to go back to academia and teach or do research, that will immensely help them. They
Right.
will change them as a human being. So first of all, we should have this thirst, a hunger to change ourselves, be more managed, and be forward looking. And very practically, I would say while writing essays, every word, every sentence should be carefully chosen,
Yeah.
and everything should be 200% honest.
Right.
Because the interviewers get to know after talking to you like 40 minutes, 45 minutes, or 1 hour, or half an hour, they get to know who you are. So, we don't try to make up it. Be honest, try to learn, talk to people, talk to ISBmantra,
Hmm.
and learn, gain the knowledge, change yourself for inside, make yourself eligible for ISB. That
Hmm.
is the natural what I felt. Because I also have friends who failed to get into ISB. Sorry for that, but I felt that the difference between me, I was immersed in the experience. I never thought anything about anything without ISB since my application days and writing my, it was a very short time. But even in
Right.
that short when I was talking to you guys, like at ISBmantra,
Right.
when I was on a call, I used to take vigorous notes, whatever you were saying. And after the
Right.
call, I
Right.
will read them. I will try to read between the lines. So
Right.
actually, I kind of reconditioned myself to talk to some very smart people. And ISB interviews are taken by alumni. So they
Yes.
are
Yes.
actually smart and achieving corporate. Right?
Yeah.
So I try to kind of reconfigure myself.
Right.
So that actually this is the inner thing that you need. You cannot fumble. You cannot seem with a lack of confidence.
Right.
No, you have to be ready for a roller coaster.
For a roller coaster. Good one. All right. Thank you, Shashwat. Thank you so much for your time. And I'm sure your whole the experience you have shared today in the discussion will go a long way for prospective PGPpro applicants. And we wish you all the best. Thank you so much.